Welcome to Storynest English channel. Before you start reading, we have a fun way to help you learn even more. At the end of this story, you'll find some quizzes to test your understanding and improve your English. These quizzes will check your comprehension, vocabulary, and key points from the story. Enjoy reading, and don't forget to challenge yourself with the quizzes afterward.
The story of Thanksgiving. A tradition of gratitude. Thanksgiving is a holiday celebrated every year in the United States and Canada. It's a time for families and friends to gather, enjoy a big meal, and give thanks for the good things in life. But where did Thanksgiving come from? This story explains the origin of Thanksgiving and how it became the holiday we know today. The Pilgrims and their journey to the New World. The story of Thanksgiving starts in the early 1600s with a group of people called the Pilgrims. The Pilgrims were a small group of English people who wanted to practice their religion freely. In England, they faced restrictions and couldn't worship the way they wanted. Because of this, they decided to leave England and start a new life in a place where they could be free. In September 1620, the Pilgrims left England on a ship called the Mayflower. There were about 100 men, women, and children on board. The journey across the Atlantic Ocean was long and difficult. The ship faced strong storms, and the Pilgrims had little food. Many people became sick, and life on the ship was uncomfortable. But they held on to hope and believed that they would reach a better place. After more than 2 months at sea, the Pilgrims finally arrived in the New World, in what is now Massachusetts. In November 1620, they named their new settlement Plymouth. The first winter in Plymouth. The Pilgrims were happy to reach land, but their challenges were not over. Winter was very harsh, and they didn't have enough food or proper shelter. The cold weather, combined with hunger and illness, made life extremely hard. Sadly, about half of the Pilgrims died during the first winter. The people who survived were weak and worried about the future. They were far from home, and everything around them was new and unfamiliar. Despite these hardships, the Pilgrims did not give up. They prayed for help and strength to survive. They hoped that they could make it through the winter and begin a better life in their new home. Help from the Native Americans. In the spring of 1621, things began to change for the Pilgrims. They met a group of Native Americans, who were the indigenous people living in the area. The Wampanoag tribe, a Native American group, played an important role in helping the Pilgrims survive. One day, a Native American named Samoset walked into the Pilgrim settlement. Samoset spoke a few words of English, which surprised the Pilgrims. He introduced them to another Native American named Squanto. Squanto spoke English very well, as he had spent time in England earlier in his life. Squanto became a close friend to the Pilgrims. He taught them many things that helped them survive. He showed them how to plant crops like corn and squash. He also taught them how to fish and how to find food in the forests. These skills were essential for the Pilgrims' survival in their new home. With the help of Squanto and the Wampanoag tribe, the Pilgrims learned how to live off the land. They were able to grow enough food to survive the next winter, and they began to feel hopeful about their future. The first Thanksgiving. By the autumn of 1621, the Pilgrims had a successful harvest. They gathered a large amount of food, including corn, beans, and squash. They felt grateful for the help they had received and wanted to celebrate their survival and good fortune. They decided to have a feast, a large meal, to give thanks. The Pilgrims invited the Wampanoag people to join them in this celebration. The feast lasted for 3 days, with the Pilgrims and the Wampanoag sharing food, playing games, and giving thanks together. They ate foods like roasted meat, corn, fish, and berries. This gathering is remembered as the first Thanksgiving. The first Thanksgiving was not a holiday yet. It was simply a way for the Pilgrims and the Native Americans to celebrate and give thanks for the harvest and the friendship they had formed. Thanksgiving becomes a tradition. For many years, people in different parts of the United States held their own Thanksgiving celebrations. These gatherings were times to give thanks for the harvest and for the good things in life. However, Thanksgiving was not an official holiday yet, and people celebrated it at different times. In 1789, George Washington, the first President of the United States, declared a national day of Thanksgiving. He wanted people to take a day to be grateful for peace, freedom, and blessings. But Thanksgiving was still not a yearly holiday. In the 1800s, a woman named Sarah Josepha Hale, who was an author and magazine editor, began to campaign for Thanksgiving to become a national holiday. She believed that Thanksgiving would bring people together and encourage them to be thankful. She wrote many letters to government officials, including President Abraham Lincoln. In 1863, during the American Civil War, President Abraham Lincoln declared that Thanksgiving would be a national holiday, celebrated every year on the last Thursday in November. Lincoln hoped that Thanksgiving would help heal the nation and bring people together during a difficult time. This was the beginning of Thanksgiving as a yearly holiday in the United States. Thanksgiving traditions today. Today, Thanksgiving is a popular holiday celebrated in the United States on the fourth Thursday in November. In Canada, Thanksgiving is celebrated on the second Monday in October. Although the holiday has changed over time, the main idea remains the same: to give thanks for the good things in life. Here are some popular Thanksgiving traditions. 1. Thanksgiving dinner. Thanksgiving dinner is the most important part of the holiday. Families and friends gather to share a big meal together. The traditional meal includes turkey, stuffing, mashed potatoes, cranberry sauce, and pumpkin pie. Each family may have its own favorite dishes, but turkey is usually the main course. 2. Giving thanks. Thanksgiving is a time to reflect on the things we are grateful for. Some families go around the table, with each person sharing what they are thankful for. It is a time to appreciate family, friends, health, and other blessings in life. 3. watching the Thanksgiving parade. In many cities, there are Thanksgiving parades. The most famous one is the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade in New York City. This parade features large balloons, music, and floats. It's watched by millions of people on television. 4. Football games. Watching or playing football on Thanksgiving is a popular tradition, especially in the United States. Many people enjoy watching football games with family and friends, and some families even play their own games in the yard. 5. Helping others. Thanksgiving is also a time for helping those in need. Many people volunteer at food banks or shelters, helping to serve meals to those who are less fortunate. This is a way to share the spirit of Thanksgiving by giving back to the community. The meaning of Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is more than just a day for eating and relaxing. It's a time to remember the history of the Pilgrims and the Native Americans and to honor the values of gratitude, friendship, and sharing. The holiday reminds us to be thankful for the people in our lives and the blessings we have. From the Pilgrims' first harvest to the modern traditions we celebrate today, Thanksgiving has a rich history. It has grown from a small feast in 1621 to a national holiday that brings people together. Whether celebrating with family, friends, or neighbors, Thanksgiving is a time to show gratitude and to appreciate the kindness, generosity, and help that we give and receive. Thanksgiving Story Quiz. Part 1, Multiple Choice Questions. 1. Why did the Pilgrims leave England? A. They wanted better jobs. B. They wanted to practice their religion freely. C. They wanted to explore new places. D. They were invited to America. Two. What was the name of the ship the Pilgrims used to sail to America? A. The Liberty. B. The Harvest. C. The Mayflower. D. The Freedom. Three. Who helped the Pilgrims survive in their new home by teaching them how to grow food? A. The English settlers. B. George Washington. C. The Native Americans. D. The Canadians. Four. What does the word harvest mean? A. A time of planting new seeds. B. A time of gathering crops. C. A time of resting and sleeping. D. A time of building houses. Five. What did the Pilgrims and Native Americans celebrate together in 1621? A. The first Thanksgiving. B. The Mayflower arrival. C. The new government. D. The first election. Part 2. True or false? 6. True or false, the first Thanksgiving lasted one day. 7. True or false? Thanksgiving was immediately made a national holiday after the first Thanksgiving. 8. True or false? Sarah Josepha Hale helped make Thanksgiving a national holiday. 9. True or false? The traditional Thanksgiving dinner includes turkey, stuffing, and pumpkin pie. 10. True or false? The Pilgrims arrived in America in the spring of 1620. Part 3. Vocabulary. Fill in the blank. Choose the correct word from the list to complete each sentence. Word list: gratitude, campaign, harvest, hardship, generosity. 11. The Pilgrims experienced many. During their first winter, including cold weather and lack of food. 12. Thanksgiving is a time to show for family, friends, and good fortune. 13. Squantos helped the Pilgrims survive by teaching them how to grow food and fish. 14. Sarah Hale started to make Thanksgiving a national holiday. 15. During the season, farmers gather crops from the fields. Part 4. Short answer. 16. What does the Thanksgiving holiday encourage people to do? Thanksgiving encourages people to give thanks for the good things in their lives. 17. What is the main food usually served at a Thanksgiving dinner? Turkey is the main food usually served at a Thanksgiving dinner. 18. Who was Abraham Lincoln, and what did he do related to Thanksgiving? Abraham Lincoln was the U.S. president who made Thanksgiving a national holiday. 19. Name one traditional activity people enjoy on Thanksgiving besides eating a big meal. People enjoy watching the Thanksgiving parade, playing or watching football, or volunteering. 20. What is a jack-o'-lantern, and how is it related to Thanksgiving? A jack-o'-lantern is a carved pumpkin, usually associated with Halloween, not Thanksgiving.
Thanks for joining me in today's story on Storynest English. Don't forget to like this video, leave your comments, subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you won't miss any of our upcoming story.